So anyway, no matter how you look at it, you can't deny the fact that we just went through a fucking shitstorm in 4 years.
Yes, we did.
Since 2016. And luckily, things prevailed the way we all hoped that they would. And feel free to introduce this particular episode. It's a phenomenal episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Weigh-In. The title of today's episode is Joe Biden, United We Can. And I believe that we can with Joe Biden. You know, congratulations, Joe Biden, president-elect, who will be the president of the United States of America, the 46th president, 2021. I'm excited. I'm elated. Let's go.
First off, there could never be anybody right now who could be in a better position to have been the president of the United States of America. When you look at the fact of how long he's been into politics, since the early 70s,
yes,
it is pretty stunning, as you brought up earlier today. Was it like 73, I think it is?
Yeah, so let's go in a little bit. Like,
let's break it down a little bit.
So who is Joe Biden? United States Senator from 1973 to 2009. Vice President from 2009 to 2017. President-elect and soon-to-be President of the United States of America 2021. Lawyer, husband, father, son, brother. Joe Biden, who will lead us out of this nightmare. Let's go.
You know what Joe reminds me of? If you could go back to the early days of the Revolutionary, when we first had the revolution from the British in 1770 and whatnot, Joe has that kind of quality.
Okay.
He's put in. I can imagine Joe, if he was around back then, he could have been like doing things for the country in 1760s, like 16 years prior to the revolution. Joe is like that person who is like that true American. He's been in the thick of it, from thick and thin. He's suffered. He's gone through a lot.
Yeah, Joe's had to deal with a lot.
And he's
family issues, personal issues,
death.
You know, a divorce. You know, like he's a. If you think about it, Joe Biden is he's a real American.
He paid some dues, man, and he still is on that mission. He's been trying to get in. He did run for president, back in the early days.
Yeah.
And he failed because he had a couple problems he ran into, but he stayed the course.
And he's here now.
Here we are, 2020. Joe won the election. He defeated a problematic 45th president. Who made no effort to cover his ass at all. And here we are.
It's crazy.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, we won't even talk about that. So let's talk about what are his biggest hurdles. So obviously you have restarting the economy, tackling the coronavirus, Mitch McConnell,
sure.
With Mitch being the Senate Majority Leader, hardened Republican, Trump's right-hand man. But the thing about it is, Joe Biden and McConnell, like, they have a history together.
They do.
It's like there's been some camaraderie. Like they have 30 years, of interacting. And they've both said on camera that they're friends. Like there's a very friendly, situation, cooperation, like the way they operate. So like, I'm feeling in my heart that they will be able to work together, and that will be crucial for Joe going forward.
And I feel it also, and I do actually see it. Now, right now, everybody's a little edgy because we're trying to like get past the divorce. So let's call it a divorce.
Yes,
the president lost his position.
Yes, I like that.
And Lindsey Graham and obviously Mitch McConnell. There's other senators and people on the Republican side. Right now, they still have to toe the line, which is obviously Trump's line.
Yes,
but as time actually goes along, and maybe through spring and summer of next year, we'll start to realize that maybe people need to sort of like, they might even start coming around. Well, we might see Mitch actually start coming around. Right now, he's talking a little bit of a hard line, and he's got to follow the president's whatever. But everybody's saving grace. That's why they're saying those things. They're covering their ass a little
bit.
I do expect that Joe, and the way he does talk and communicate with people, he will at least give it an effort, and hopefully Mitch and other people will make an effort.
Joe historically has been known as a uniter, and he's been known as a Democrat who can work with the Republicans.
Yep.
So it will be very interesting to see how he operates going forward. I personally foresee good things.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be vindictive at all. Yeah, nothing like that.
One thing that Trump did that just was off-putting, that he really stacked his side as far as the aisle, with Republicans, and you can't do that. because being president, you don't have unlimited, you don't have the carte blanche, you don't have unlimited, unrestricted, authority. There's checks and balances. That's what makes this one of the greatest countries to live in. But once you get a president who can work with both sides, who can see both perspectives and kind of bring everybody in, and hopefully that's what he does, which he's good at it, so he should do it. There'll be a lot less hurdles and there'll be a lot less roadblocks for him going forward. Because
that's a good point.
You got to think about this. We have to restart the economy. So most of the people that may be watching this, I don't know. If you have a job, you got to know that more than 50% of the economy, more than 50% of people are not working. We're still dealing with the coronavirus. Some people think it's not a real thing, but it's actually a real thing. It's still going on.
It's actually probably the most important factor in all this recovery.
Yes,
because the longer we let it go, this is gonna get worse. Like right now, we're off the charts with people catching it and people dying. It's still crazy, and we haven't even gotten to snow yet.
Yeah, so now, right now, the recording of this episode is November 9th. So we're now going into cold and flu season. So now you're gonna have influenza and the coronavirus together.
Right.
So you're really getting that 1-2 punch, and we've lost too many Americans. We've lost too many people worldwide, globally already. So we need a president that's going to be able to jump on top of this and get a handle on it. And I'm really hoping, but I also really believe that Joe's going to be able to really come through. So, which brings me
he has made comments about this on his obvious acceptance speech the other night. He obviously did say the things that he wants to do, and one of the things is if you let the fact that the COVID is running amok as it is, you're going to have a hard time restarting. The economy. It's like trying to start a fire in the middle of a rainstorm in a forest. It doesn't work.
Yeah. So,
but if you could control that, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to get it off my chest. But if we can control that the way we are, we can actually look really good in the early part of the spring as we move into a whole new year. Because in 2020, when COVID began, we just left winter, and it started in the later parts of winter and the early parts of the spring.
Yes.
So we haven't actually gone through the negativity of a harsh winter, right?
Yes.
So if we can turn this around, this is a big test.
This is going to be a real big test.
I mean, right now they're talking about they're going to have to possibly shut down a few things. We have to suck it up. We can't just say we got to keep everything open. We right now in New York State today,
and we can. We can. So,
the governor said today in New York State, Governor Cuomo, that we're in a yellow alert, and that means we have to lock things down a little bit. Not 100% lockdown, but we have to be stronger, because if it's not, New York, which has already been a state that's been in good control, we do not want to end up like some of the states that are south of us that are running rampant and basically drinking out of the same whiskey bottle.
Yeah,
it's just not really good. So I think it's going to work, but we all have to work together. And as we talked about a couple weeks ago, one of our episodes, you got to wear your fucking mask.
Yes.
That's the only way you're going to be able to solve this problem.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way Joe and Kamala can pull this together.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's mic drop moment. You said everything. So going on to the next topic, will he deliver?
Why can't he? I mean, ask you that.
Because there.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, yes, he can. So, I mean, but
I wasn't challenging you. I was just saying, but I'm so confident, yes, he will.
No, I'm with you, brother. But we have to be impartial, because there are going to be people that did not vote, for Biden, that are going to say, he's a 77-year-old man, even though he's only 3 years older than Trump, whatever that means, but can he deliver? And can he deliver on not just uniting the Congress, but the United States of America?
Well, it's going to be difficult, because obviously a lot of damage has been done in the last 3 years.
Prior. You might
say a good decade's worth of damage has been done. It's going to take a while to kind of dig out of that a little bit. I do understand the fact that a lot of Americans are very distrustful of government in general.
Yes,
and I think that's obviously a very important fact, and I see where they're coming from. This all sprang out of the that what they call that.
There's a lot of things that distrust of government has sprung from,
and that's how the Trump gang and all the followers. That's where they sprang from. That and I get it, and we do need to fix things a little bit, but it's going to take a little while. You can't be we can't bully people. We have to do this professionally. We have to take care of our friendly American brothers, because we can't become we can't come in like Trump did, like a bully, like a bull in the china shop.
Just kind of bulldozing and
can't do
my
that.
way or the highway. way,
It's gotta be
kind
friendly.
of a demagogue, and
Yeah, that doesn't solve anything.
No, I don't
Treat
believe that
people
either.
with a little respect. Give it, the olive branch effect. Let's all take care of each other.
Yes.
I'm extremely optimistic. I mean, I want to be optimistic. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be even more sad about the populace. But I think we can pull it together.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, and I don't want to say this, but can it get any? Can it get any worse than Trump?
Well, you got about 70 days or so before January 20th rolls around.
You're not thinking sabotage. We won't even.
Not a distinctive form of sabotage, but the things that he does are all forms of sabotage, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably going to pardon a whole bunch of people and probably his family. And he might even try to irk us into some kind of a conflict with the Iranians. Anything's very, very possible. The shadow or the legacy of Trump is strong. It's going to take a while. He did announce today that he is going to move ahead with Trump TV, which is going to be nothing but a shit-stirring fucking cauldron of chaos.
We'll get to Trump.
that.
Yeah. So the next thing I would like to talk about is, as far as Joe Biden, his foreign policy legacy. So, for those who don't know, Joe Biden, he cast the deciding vote to invade Iraq. And many people see the Obama administration's handling of foreign policy as tenuous at best, with, Biden being at the heart of the issues in Iraq, Syria, not pulling the troops out fully in this, 20-year military encampment. So a lot of people they're shaky on how Biden's going to handle foreign policy, going forward. They don't have that unwavering trust, in different arenas or different domains as far as politics go, as far as Biden with, foreign policy, which is, there's a point there that you have to address.
But what I noticed about Joe, which is really interesting in his whole career, is he is the first to admit if he's made a mistake. And if you're man enough to actually admit that you've done something wrong, and you can actually do a complete turnaround, a 180, 360, whatever it might be, on the situation, that's a sign of a truly good person, because you're not too stuck up on the fact that you did make the mistake. You manned up. You're good enough to know you made that mistake. Look, back when he did that, when the Iraq War took place, remember, a lot of this stuff was related to everything that was, post around 9/11.
Saddam,
Saddam and all that
stuff.
stuff.
Saddam Hussein, even that's early as 2002.
Yeah, and it's very acceptable at that time, I think. So, but now in hindsight, we look back. Hindsight's 20/20. Some of that might have been a little off, maybe not necessarily. So I still think that.
I see what you did there.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. Keep going. Don't lose.
But I still think his foreign policy is actually going to be good, because here we are, 2020.
He has a lot of experience and at least a learning curve. Hopefully he's learned from the past.
Oh, I think so. And the volatility of today's world that we live in, you can't come in with a heavy hammer and a big old boot and step on your opposition. So you have to deal with people in a more kind way, and you have to, it's not a world to just like blow up, drop bombs, and it's over. I think Joe understands it. We are in 2020. The next 4 years are going to be a whole different style of politics in the world, I believe.
So,
except for the fucking Russians, I don't like them bastards.
So I would like to note that Anthony Blinken, Biden's national security advisor, is noted as saying that both he and Biden knew that, the evacuation of the troops, on foreign soil was not going to be like a 1 week, thing, getting that out.
But we're still there.
Yeah, we're still there. It's almost been, we're heading on.
It's the longest war we've ever fought.
Yeah, we're approaching 20 years. So I think I know they're cognizant of it. Like Biden's camp, like everybody knows that that's going to be an issue that's going to be put in the forefront when the press starts, really hammering down on questions. So I hope he's ready for that, and I believe he's ready for that. So the last thing I would like to talk about is the shadow of Trump. Is Biden the president that the American people wanted, or is he the guy that is not Donald Trump? So
clearly he's the one they wanted.
200
Look at the amount of people who voted. So most people who voted ever for an American president.
Electoral votes, 290, 214.
Right, but think about who the second most person who got the second most largest votes.
Who's that?
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, so obviously there's a rift in the country.
Yeah, so
and it's pretty equally 50%. So obviously.
But thinking about that, he's kind of, as far as this initial presidency, he's going to be tied. He's tied to Trump with being. Was he the guy that the people really wanted, or was he like, the lesser of two evils, or just this guy?
Well, it's probably the lesser of two evils, but I mean, that's even strong against Joe. What it was is, I think anybody with a good plan, who was sincere and a good human, and you had a good running mate, was going to win this election. Donald made no attempt to not want to win this election. He made no attempt to offer an olive branch per se towards any of the other forces and peoples of America
who could have got behind him, and he could have got those votes.
I mean, the only thing that he did get, which I think was important for him, is he did get the Cuban Latino Party voters in Florida, which is still mind-boggling to me because they feel they're different than your normal Hispanics in America. That's the only thing he was able to attract to, and that actually happened back for Obama on one of the two terms also.
Over 3,500 lawsuits in 2016. Russia's alleged meddling, Russian oligarchs, ties to Putin, China, and the mysterious ballot rigging. Like, no other presidency, no other election has been tied to so much ambiguity, mystery, and intrigue. It's just insane.
No, it's totally insane. But you know what's really funny? Like, in a backhanded way,
this whole last 4 years, funny and sad. Like, thank you for watching this video, Henny Boys, the weigh-in. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so you never miss out on this elegance of outrageousness. He's a jolly good fellow. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out Biden's house, baby. Fuck you. That's it.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Weigh-In. The title of today's episode is The Legacy of Trump, Part 1. The Art of the Still.
Jesus Christ.
You see what I did there? Let's go, motherfucker. This is not for Henny Boys, but this is about to get
Henny Boys.
This is about to get crazy. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is hell of a campaign.
Great
Mr. Campaign. Donald Trump, DT, 4/5, the homie, that dude, that boy. He was very outspoken.
You think?
He lobbed insults at women, Muslims, Mexicans, immigrants, even, rest in peace, Senator John McCain, war veteran. Like, build a wall. They're all thieves, rapists, killers, drug users, drug dealers. Like, what a way to come in. A guy with no political capital, no real political background, kind of flirts with this shit, but this is how you come in? Like, that, remember that shit? That was crazy.